Hi, I'm Amit, CEO and co-founder at Laminar. In this HelpNet security video, I'll be talking about how to keep public cloud data secure. And this is particularly important today as more and more applications are moving to the cloud, and cloud data security is significantly different from on-prem data security. So I'm happy to share with you my top 5 things to do to secure your cloud data. And this is particularly important today as more and more applications are moving to the cloud, and cloud data security is significantly different from on-prem data security. So I'm happy to share with you my top 5 things to do to secure your cloud data. Number 1 is protect your sensitive data that is publicly exposed. And this may sound obvious, but it's quite tricky to do because you have assets that are public by design. They are there to share data with your customers and business partners. But the problem is, so many times, there's sensitive data in these public assets that shouldn't have been there. Still, it's there because developers and data scientists innovate fast without always being fully aware of the complexity of cloud data access. Did you know, for example, that even after data is deleted, it can still be exposed due to cloud versioning? So you need to make sure that you have an automatic discovery and classification of all the different data assets in the cloud and the files that can be there. Number 2 is to overcome the complexity of data access in the cloud. And this is, surprisingly, extremely complex. There are policies per resource and bucket and identity and session and even organization. It is complicated because the cloud is designed to provide maximum flexibility for developers. Now, this is great for the business, but it can become a nightmare for security. There are, therefore, unfortunately, countless mistakes that expose data internally, externally, or to third parties, even when the bucket is supposed to be fully private. So make sure you have a way to simplify it by visualizing the access and automatically detecting potential gaps. Number 3 is deleting all the shadow and abandoned data in the cloud. Because data in the cloud is so easy to create and replicate, yet it's so hard to delete. Nobody wants to take responsibility for deleting a database that somebody else uses. So it's way easier to just leave it there indefinitely. And what you get is a data that just sits there for years without anybody using it. It's adding risk, it's adding costs, but it's not adding any value. So try to find all the shadow, abandoned, orphaned, and redundant data and get all the context needed to make it easy to delete the data if you decide to do so. Number 4 is to know where all your data is. And there are many reasons to know where your data is. First, it is the most mandatory step in order to protect it, right? You can't protect what you can't see. It is also the most fundamental requirement of every data-related regulation, such as GDPR and CCPA. It is also a critical step of every data protection framework, such as CDMC. Yet, it may be the hardest security task to perform in the cloud because data can be everywhere and it proliferates at an overwhelming speed. So, automatic and continuous data mapping is a key. Number 5 is to clarify the data ownership. Data ownership is critical for data security and protection. The owner can decide whether data is redundant or misplaced and if it can be deleted, if it requires periodical backups, encryption, anonymization, or other data security controls. Yet, in modern cloud development, the data ownership is often unclear because now you have autonomous development teams that own their applications and data. So make sure you have a way to simplify it and identify the owner quickly in order to accelerate the remediation of all the issues that we've just discussed. That were my top 5 things to do in order to protect your cloud data. I hope it helps you to identify the challenges that you may have in your environment. Thank you for joining me for this short video.